All right, hello. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Winter Bake-Along. My name is Chef Anika, and I'm so grateful to be here with you today to cook some fabulous cookies. I want to introduce my co-host, Alyssa.
Wait, I'm coming.
Come on in, bring me that package.
Hi, I'm the co-host who will mostly be off screen for COVID reasons. And I have got a kit for you from the co-op. If you haven't got your kit yet, they're $6. They're at the co-op if there's any left, which I haven't checked, but I'll know by tomorrow. You can call the co-op if you want to, and you haven't gotten yours yet. $6, less than the cost of ingredients. So cool. I'm gonna get out of the shot now so that you can get back in the shot.
Okay, we're all so grateful to be here, and this is definitely all put on by local sponsors. So we want to say thanks to the co-op, to Stonewall, and to Chico Chai, because all of those were major roles in making this happen today, and we're all so excited to be here. So let's go ahead and jump in. Everybody should have a kit from the co-op. So let's go ahead and just take everything out and see what we're working with here. Parchment paper, tons and tons of parchment paper. The ones that say COC are coconut sugar. There should be 2 of those in your package. NaC1 is salt. Baking soda has BS on it. Spice is our pumpkin spice. Almond butter. The F is flax. And then we have, these are little chives. And so we're gonna set these aside because we'll do these later once the cookies are in the oven. And we have our powdered sugar, and that's gonna be at the very end, so we'll set that aside as well. So that should be everything in your kit.
I can take that.
Oh, why, thank you. So the very most important thing is that we start with the flax. This is gonna be our egg replacer. So something that you need to know is flax, when you add water to it, it makes it like gelatinous. And so it needs time to set and like get that jelly vibe going. So we're gonna immediately add water to that first. Now there's something you all should know. When they were setting up the kits, some of you got, what's it called? Fresh ground almond butter, and some of you got like prepackaged almond butter. So the prepackaged almond butter looks like this. I think you can see it there. And it's like a glossier, kind of a little bit runnier texture, whereas the fresh ground almond butter is like really gritty and coarse. And that's gonna make a difference because we need to do a different ratio with the flax. So if you got the runnier almond butter, add 3 tablespoons of water to your flax. If you got the chunkier almond butter, add 4 tablespoons of water to your flax. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna head.
That's 3 for runny and 4 for chunky.
3 for runny and 4 for chunky. Exactly. Because the chunkier needs a little extra water and the runnier is already liquidy. So I'm gonna go ahead, since I have this glossy almond butter, I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons of water and we'll stir it up. This is probably a really good time to note that your oven should be preheated.
I was gonna tell you to do it, and then I forgot to tell you to do it.
350 degrees for the win. So I've already got mine going. I just turned it on, but now is a perfect time to make sure yours is on and up and running. Just wanted to put that in there. So let's go ahead and stir the flax. And it doesn't immediately get gelatinous, so just kind of make sure it's all put together. And then let's take the lids off all these things and kind of get prepared. So as you guys can see, there are some wetter ingredients, which is the flax and the almond butter, and there's drier ingredients. So kind of a typical rule for baking is you mix the dry ingredients all together first and then add in the wet ingredients. So that's what we're gonna do here. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the baking soda. I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in.
The BS.
The BS. The salt, fancy coarse salt, which is good because it gives it like a good little crunchy texture in there. And then we've got coconut sugar, and go ahead and add both of those. and we've got our pumpkin spice. So the thing with coconut sugar and just, you know, kind of more natural ingredients in general is that you always have to be aware of if there's going to be any sort of like seed out the outside edge of like coconut seed or whatnot. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. And things that are more natural like coconut sugar tend to be clumpy. So when you're stirring these all together, just try your best to like really push down and get as many of the clumps out as possible.
Was I wrong? Is there no coconut shell in there?
There's no coconut shell in this one.
Okay, well, great. Great news, no coconut shell.
This one looks pretty good, but it happens. It does happen, so keep an eye out. You don't want to be crunching down on a coconut shell. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of assess and give a little stir to my flax. Oh, yeah, you can use regular raw sugar or brown sugar or anything. The only reason that I use coconut sugar is because one, it kind of glazes the bottom of the cookie when it cooks and it gives it a really caramely flavor, and it's a low glycemic sugar. So what this means is it doesn't like hit your blood sugar dramatically and like give a huge rise in blood sugar. So it's an overall easier sugar for our body to uptake, but you can absolutely swap out that for any other kind of sugar. Except don't use like honey or maple syrup or something like that because that'll off the ratio of liquids. Any powdered sugar or powdery style sugar will work just fine. Okay, everything's all nice and mixed together. There's a shot. We've got a crew here that's just doing such a great job. Thank you to everybody for being here. Okay, so our wet ingredients are almond butter and flax. And we're gonna go ahead and add those in now. See, you can see like as the flax is dripping out, it's kind of like gooey.
Like an egg.
Like an egg, which is what we want, because that's gonna be what's holding it all together. And the almond butter. It's nice that Yeah, it's nice that everything is pre-measured, but if you guys want to make this recipe in the future, there should be a little recipe card inside your bag that gives the recipes, and there are some flexibilities in terms of like the sugar, or you could use peanut butter instead of the almond butter, but it just would give a different flavor. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just mashing all the wet and dry ingredients until it's really formed well. You want it well combined. This isn't one of those recipes where you can over mix it.
Sounds really cool.
Very squishy sounding. And the almond butter, you just really want to use like the back of a spoon and press into it, because you want to make sure that all the clumps are really well mixed and that you're not going to end up having a bite of just almond butter without flavor in your cookie. Okay, so you can kind of see that when I'm like mixing this, you can still see some chunks. It's surprising how long it takes to like really mix the almond butter and make sure it's integrated well. How's everybody doing at home? Does anybody have any questions or anything?
No new questions right now.
Okay, fairly straightforward so far.
About 16 to 20 viewers right now.
Okay,
Hi,
so
everybody.
grateful you guys are all here joining us.
Feel free to chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah, this is a group setting. I mean, we're here to have fun and just, you know, have a good time together. Feel free to, reach out, make connections. That's what these events are for.
I'm gonna come on
Yes.
screen
Oh,
really quick.
okay.
I just want to see what it looks like because I'm listening to, it looks really good.
Yay! Yeah, I'll give you an up close. This is what it looks like here. Okay, so next let's go ahead and line our baking sheets. I'm gonna set this off to the side. The package did come with some pre-cut, what's this stuff called? Parchment paper.
And I think the package came with 2. Yours just happened to
I have
an
extra.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and line these. I like to do a little number here where you kind of take off the edge so that it fits nicer. And the house that I'm working at just so happens to have pre-lined baking sheets, the reusable silicone, which works just fine. Here. So this cookie recipe, it's really important that we keep the cookies very separate because they expand drastically. So that's why we're doing it on 2 different sheets, even though it makes like 10 to 11 cookies.
Oh, please keep going. Just
Okay.
trying to get her attention.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here is make, so whether you're using parchment paper or like these silicone toppings, you don't have to put any oil down or anything. They're perfect just as is. And we'll go ahead and take, you doing okay?
Yeah, the only question that I did want to interject is one person says mine looks runnier. Is that okay?
It's gonna be okay if it's a little bit runnier. It's a forgiving
The other
recipe.
one will be for later, yeah.
It'll be just fine.
What if somebody only has 1 pan?
So, good question. If you only have 1 pan, you can just do it in batches, and that's honestly how I recommend doing it. Each cookie batch takes like 11 minutes, and I would do them one at a time because I feel like that bakes them the best all the way around. However, if you want to eat them all at the same time, then you can put them both in. If you have 2 racks and 2 pans, I would just highly recommend adding an extra minute and halfway through switching the racks. So if one's on top, switch it to the bottom. But for easy sake, I like doing one at a time.
If the cookie batter is runny, should we cook it?
No, I don't believe so. The more you stir it, the thicker it gets. So I think it'll thicken up quickly. I'm not too concerned about it. I think it'll be okay. So we're gonna wanna take about a tablespoon, like a large tablespoon, into your hand. Oh, flying cookies. And roll it up and then squeeze it down just a little bit. And we'll do about 5 for each. Make sure to leave enough room on each of them because, again, they do really expand. So this is about the size of the ball. It's like a large tablespoon.
Okay, so there's one question that
Okay.
we're going to ask right now, and then one we'll save for a little bit later.
Okay.
But there's a question right now. How many times have you made this recipe before?
I have
And
made
that's
this.
a trick question.
It's a trick question. I've made this recipe so many times and made many different iterations of it. This specific one with these specific spices and everything, probably about 8 times now. But this is the base of so many of my cookie recipes. It's also, you can make this recipe and like using the exact same thing, just exchange peanut butter for almond butter, let go of the spices and add chocolate chips, and you suddenly have a peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. It's like a really good base. It's always kind of like 1 cup of nut butter, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and then whatever spices and baking soda. And those are kind of the staples. And then you can kind of play with the recipe after that. So let's go ahead and get these in. I'm gonna walk over to the oven and stick these in. And can someone put on an 11-minute timer?
Yes, I certainly can.
Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and prepare the second sheet. So they're ready to go. Okay. Also keep in mind, this is like something that's really important about baking, is that all ovens are a little bit different, which is not the easiest thing. So if you have a thermometer, making sure that your oven does actually cook at 350 when it says 350 is great. If not, not everybody has an oven thermometer. There's some key things that we're gonna look for to make sure that they're done. When they first come out, they're gonna be like really gooey. And it's super, super important that you let them cool completely on the sheet because this recipe has like some not stereotypical ingredients. It's not like flour and butter and like all the kind of basics of cookie making. They are delicate in the sense that we want to cook them for 11 minutes, take them out and let them cool completely because we want a chewy cookie that still has like a hard bottom, meaning like a chew texture without them like completely falling apart. But we don't want a crunchy, like dry cookie. So that's a very important thing to note. Okay. And one last cookie. Let me get all the goods. Look, this one's a little shy. I'm gonna steal some cookie dough from this one. They don't have to be perfect. Okay, so this is, you can kind of see how I've spaced them out. Again, a little bit more. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we'll have those ready to go. And how's everybody's cookies looking? Is everything looking good so far?
No new comments right now.
Okay, we're doing good. I'm gonna give my hands a little rinse.
Do you want to do questions, or I guess we should make the frosting glaze first, right?
Yeah, we
Icing
can
first?
get that
Okay,
stuff ready
then
and
we
make
can
the
jump
chai.
into more. So yeah, if you have more questions and you're watching just in general for Anika or about the recipe or anything, please put them in. We're kind of holding one or two of them until we have this long time to wait while the cookies bake and we need something to do. So we're gonna answer your questions then.
Yeah, feel free to ask questions, feel free to chit chat.
How long have you been cooking?
Yeah.
Okay, how long have I been cooking? Yeah, I've been cooking for, let's see, I'm 31 and I started when I was 19. So math here, 19, 20, 30, 12 years?
12 years.
12 years, yeah, I graduated from culinary school when I was 19. So it's been a minute, it's been fun. Okay, so let's hop into chai land. So the way that these chais work are they're equal parts chai and equal parts milk. So you can use whatever kind of milk you want. We're gonna go ahead and stick these into a pan. And then I'm just gonna use this little cup to measure out 2 more things of milk because it's the perfect amount and we love that. Thank you, Chico Chai.
And again, you can use any kind of milk you want. Oat milk is super creamy if you're into vegan milks. Dairy works great. Also almond or soy or anything else.
Yeah. This looks creamy and delicious.
do
I'm
that.
gonna hold
Yeah,
it up
do
so you can see what it looks like here. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a stir and put this on the stove top on low so that can get heating. I'm gonna need a spoon.
Can I help? Oh no.
I need a spoon. Okay, we're gonna stir this and then stick it on. Okie doke. That's doing good. Okay, let me get rid of these. So next up, we need like a little bowl for these guys. Is there maybe one over there?
A
Or?
little bowl. Aha.
Yeah,
Like this little bowl.
perfect. Can you will you also hand me a spoon or a fork?
I guess.
Por favor, thank you. Perfect. Okay, so here we have a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar.
Want the chai?
We are gonna mix it. You want it in a bigger bowl because we're gonna mix it with some water.
Sarah wants to, sorry, somebody wants to know, if we want the chai cold, do we still have to heat it up?
If you want the chai cold, you do not have to heat it up. You can just mix it with milk and stick it over ice. However, if you want to add sweetener to it, you would want to melt your sweetener or use like maple syrup or something like that. But if you wanted to add sugar, you could melt it either in the chai or mix it with a little bit of water and then pour it over ice. Okie doke. So this is a 1/2 cup of sugar, powdered sugar. If you want these cookies to be refined sugar-free, all you have to do is not put the glaze on it, and then they're only sweetened with coconut sugar. So that if you ever need to make them for a family member that doesn't eat refined sugar, just omit the the frosting, and then you're good to go. A little bit of water goes a really long way with powdered sugar. So we're gonna mix 1 tablespoon of water with all of this and then give it a good stir. So let me grab some water. Okay. And you can see the powdered sugar just like disintegrates. A fork is nice because there's going to be so many little gritty chunks. You really want to make sure that they all come out.
Yeah, just for the heck of it, even though we've already got ours, never mind. Go ahead, I'll say it later.
Tell me!
It's about the chai.
Okay, let's talk about the chai.
So we have somebody who used to work for Chico Chai.
Okay.
Says, here's a tip. If you heat the chai without the milk to almost boiling and then add the milk and heat just a little bit more, then you activate the spices without burning the milk.
Oh, I love
We
it.
put all of ours together, but you can do it that very special advanced way at home.
Yeah, we also used a non-dairy milk, so
That's true.
that may make a difference. Okay, so tablespoons of water are a little funny to measure, but this is what we're going for. Is this very drippy, wet texture, like this. Yeah, because then you can do it like this and do a back and forth drizzle over the cookies. But basically, if it's like thick or chunky, put in like 1 or 2 more drops of water, but really make sure that you don't go wild with it, because it can very easily just turn into liquid sugar and that's not drizzleable. Yeah. Okay, so we have pretty much everything ready. How much time do we have left
About
until our
3
cookies
minutes.
are ready? Okay. So once the cookies come out, again, we're gonna need to let them rest. So we've got some time to talk about some things.
Okay, let's dive into one of them questions. First of all, this is so fun. This looks awesome. Drizzle for Rizzle. So those are some
Drizzle for Rizzle.
those are some notes.
Thank you, whoever made that comment.
Let me start back here. Okay, so we talked about how many times have you made this recipe before. That's great. How long have you been cooking, Chef Anika?
We did already talk about that.
Oh, we did already do that. Okay, yeah, that's right, because it was like 12 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time. How long have you been professionally cooking, though?
I've been professionally cooking for 12 years.
Okay, so you started, got it.
I've been regular cooking since I was teeny tiny, but yes, I graduated from culinary school 12 years ago and started my private chef business.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
From Natalie.
Okay, Natalie.
Who, by the way, is just the best PR person in the whole wide world and happens to work for Stonewall. What is your favorite kind of cookie and why?
These are obviously my very favorite cookies, and let me tell you why. I love that they don't have gluten. I love that they don't have any flour. I love that they are refined sugar-free except for the topping. They are, you know, if you have a peanut allergy, you can still eat them. If you're vegan or egg-free or have any real like major allergies, they're just a good like all-around win cookie. And they're easy. There's like 6 ingredients in them. They're the best.
Good answer.
Yeah. What else
Yeah.
you got? Anything else we need to talk about?
For now, that's it. So now feels like a great time to like. So you mentioned Chico Chai, who I'm gonna.
Would you like to come in?
I'm gonna come on set. Yes, please. Move. It's not safe. So you mentioned Chico Chai.
Yes.
Who were wonderful and donated a bunch of their products so we could have this delicious chai.
Thank you, Chico Chai.
The co-op who were able to donate some of the ingredients and definitely a lot of labor, which is why we were able to sell these cookie kits for so darn cheap. We also, of course, Stonewall Alliance, which is your local LGBTQ community center, and Garden Cuisine is our other sponsor. Garden Cuisine, aka Anika. Are there other people Or is it just your business
Just
name?
me.
Okay.
Sometimes I do
about
hire
what you
people
do?
to do, yeah, sometimes I hire people to do stuff, but it's always like a one-off or here and there or, you know, 1099. So it's really just me. I do all of the
Oh,
things.
that's my timer.
Oh, has it been 11 minutes?
It's clearly been 11 minutes.
Ooh.
Stop.
Okay,
Those pretties.
here's our cookies. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in our next batch so that they can be up and running.
So we know
And
we
would
have
you
to
host,
set
please
another
set
11?
another timer for us?
What is with me and a block?
Okay,
about that?
so here's something we need to talk about, and that's the way that the cookies look. If you got the almond butter that was a little bit more oily, not the fresh ground, your cookies are gonna be puffier like this. If you got the fresh ground, they're gonna be flatter. Both taste delicious. It's just the consistency of the almond changes the way the cookie looks. Both are gonna be amazing, but something to note, like if your cookies are super flat with the fresh almond butter, they're gonna be amazing, and that's just nothing to worry about, okay? So we will put those aside. We're gonna let these get completely cooled before we go ahead and glaze them, because otherwise the glaze will just melt off.
And I want to say it's not anybody's fault that that we didn't all get the same almond butter.
Oh yeah.
In the day that we packed these.
You wanna come back in?
Sure. Talk from over here. The day that we packed these kits up, the co-op actually had gotten shorted on their almond shipment, and so we had to pull a bunch of delicious premium Macy Jane's almond butter off of the shelves, and that's what we have here today.
We're
but
flexible.
we're
It's all
flexible.
good. We just adjust the water a little bit and it's fine. And that's one of the blessings about these cookies is they're kind of hard to mess up.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, you know, and like you can really use whatever ingredients are in your cabinet. It doesn't have to be fresh ground almond butter. It doesn't have to be the almond butter that comes in a jar. Both
I'm
work great.
excited to try these with peanut butter on another day.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, it might be a little funny with the pumpkin spice. You just
Yeah.
omit the pumpkin spice and add in chocolate chips. So good.
You were talking about garden cuisine, and I think you should continue talking about garden cuisine.
Yeah, Garden Cuisine. So, Garden Cuisine is my local Chico business. I'm a vegetarian and vegan private chef. I would love to cook for you if you're interested in having a private chef.
Marin said, I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Oh, good one. I love it. Truly. These cookies for show. So yeah, the way that the business works, it's a really fun thing, and I love my career. If you're interested in private cooking, the way that it works is you contact me, we figure out what your dietary restrictions are, how many meals a week you want, how many servings of it you want, how many people we're gonna be cooking for, and then we figure out a plan of how many times a week I'm gonna come and how that all works. And then once we have a plan, I go and do all of the grocery shopping. I send you all the meals in advance. You get to yay or nay them. And then I go grocery shopping, come to your house, cook all the food, package it all, leave you reheating instructions, clean the whole kitchen, and leave. And it's usually about a 2-hour process, so I'm in and out of your house pretty quickly, leave you with a clean kitchen, and you have a bunch of food for the week. So
Cool.
it's super fun. So that's really my only spiel.
I
But
hope this isn't too invasive, but it's a question I have.
okay, hit me.
How's business?
Business is actually awesome right now. I feel very blessed and grateful to have this business at this time. I think so many of us are struggling right now during COVID because either, we're forced to cook for ourselves at home or we're eating at the same restaurants all the time, which is fabulous, but it's, it can be draining in multiple ways, like eating a lot of the same foods and not, having to deal with everybody's new timelines of like closing early or not staying open maybe as late as like when you get off work and whatnot. So there's just a lot of like really beautiful factors in being able to offer this service at this time, and I'm very grateful to be here and be here now.
What's your website?
Oh, yeah, thanks for asking. My website is gardencuisinemeals.com, GardenCuisine meals.com. Or you can find me on Instagram at Garden Cuisine Meals. Yeah, those are the good ways to find me.
And she'll be tagged in everything, every post that
You can find me on Stonewall.
Yeah.
You can find me on Stonewall.
.com, not .org. .com. Yep. Oopsie, we wrote the wrong one in. It's a .com. Not
New
a
one
.org.
coming soon. Do you want to come back so we can talk more about Stonewall and whatnot?
Sure.
These cookies are
How
still,
do you know?
they're still a little warm. Well, you want to kind of feel over the top of them. They want to be like, if you grab the edges with your fingers, you kind of want them to come off easily without, see, right now it looks like they're just going to crumble into nothing. They need more time.
Cool. I'm excited to eat them.
Me too.
So Stonewall does, here, back up.
Okay.
Or I don't know where the shot is.
Get in there.
We're getting thumbs ups all around. So Stonewall, as I mentioned, is your local nonprofit LGBTQ community center. We do low to no cost counseling. We do social and support groups, both of which are completely online right now. So if you go to stonewallchico.org, you can see all of our groups. You can join them via Zoom. You can see our counseling. You can call our counseling center and get in line. Did you just turn that off?
Yeah, I
should
just
probably
turned
save
it off. Hey everyone, it's time to turn off the chai. Depends.
Turn off the chai.
It depends, I guess, on yours. I had it on low, and it's. I just didn't want it to boil over while we were talking. So yours may or may not be hot yet, but I didn't want us to forget about it.
What else do we do? We do HIV and hepatitis C testing by appointment.
Ooh, that's good to know.
For free, completely confidential, completely
Wow.
free. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff. What else do we do? Marin, what else do we do?
Question?
Phone a friend.
Come
Marin, what else
in.
do we do?
Here, let me swap you spots.
We provide free chest binders and bras. We do counseling
Yes.
and support groups. We have team game nights on Zoom right now, once a month, which is on. Oh, you still do. And I help people with legal name and gender marker changes. I answer questions about schools and provide trainings. Pretty much whatever question you got, we'll try and answer and find someone who can.
We also do events like what you're seeing right now. Obviously, this is a very different version of what we would normally be doing at this time of year, but for everybody's safety, we can't exactly gather all together in one space. The reason I bring it up is because there was a question in the chat about, can we have a virtual Stonewall dance party?
Ooh.
We
Yes.
can right now.
Yes.
But also,
That's
yes.
the answer is yeah.
Did that satisfy your need?
We're gonna maybe need a little more.
We're gonna need, by the end of this, we'll be doing more. But we will also be doing some sort of trans month instead of trans week this year in March.
Yes.
We're gonna have events for the whole, by and for and about the whole trans community. We're also going to be having a Chico Pride in June this year. I know last year we had to wait until September because COVID. This year we're planning for COVID, so we are going to go ahead with it in June. We don't know exactly what that means yet. We'll see what we can and cannot do. But if we can't have a dance party in person, which I could see us not being able to have a dance party in person by June, yeah, let's definitely have one virtually. We'll start getting that ready.
Yeah.
Any more questions on the?
People are excited about the game night. They think it's really cool that
Ooh.
we're finding a way to bring folks together.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Oh, I guess the other thing we do right now, we have the Queer and Trans People of Color Direct Aid Fund.
Thank you.
It is always open for applications. We make awards every single week. We've given out over $4,500 so far. If you are a Black, queer, trans, indigenous, two-spirit person of color in this community, apply on our website. Totally.
To be clear, because this has been asked before, you don't have to be all of those things. You just need to be a person of color and identify somewhere in the LGBTQ alphabet. Yeah.
Okay. Fabulous.
That's what Stonewall do. Oh, I know what else I want to say. There's some other people here today. Well, you just saw Marin, who's hosting, and my wonderful, wonderful coworker. We also have Lakosha Nail behind the camera I'm gesturing at right now, so you can't see her.
You can swing by if you want.
Hello. She's right there. We have Dan Carter to her right, who you also can't. There we go. There's Dan.
Yay, Dan.
This is all Dan's equipment because he's a saint. This is Kat Johns.
Hi, Kat.
And she is running our video feed and is assisting with all of this stuff. And we're so grateful for our crew. Yeah, hiya.
I'm sorry.
Okay, how are these cookies looking?
I think they might be done. Yeah, see how now I can pick it up?
Is there
That's when you know it's done. When you can pick it up with your fingers.
distance?
Oh.
See, because at first it looked like it was gonna fall apart, and now it's really easy to hold.
Okay, the question was,
What's
is
our
there
question?
a need for some sort of distance volunteer work at Stonewall, I assume? We're struggling to find ways to use volunteers right now because everything is done remotely and with a couple of people at most. I am confident that by the spring and summer we will have need for distance volunteer work. If you are a person who has a specialty skill like graphic design or video work, or you're a performer, or you want to lead something. Oh, second.
cookies!
My thing's going off for a second. Anyway, if you're a person who has a specialty skill that you want to try to do that might work for a distance event, thank you. I'll get it. Let me just push this in. Send us an email. You can send me an email. I'm Alyssa at stonewallchico.org, or you can just go on our website and do like a general, like, I want to tell you guys something, and then type it in. Because we would love to know how we can work with you. But in terms of general volunteer stuff right now, it's been difficult to find ways to work with our whole community, which is kind of dumb because I know everybody wants to be together doing things and contributing. But we're working on it, and in the spring and the summer, we'll have way more ways to engage everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
We miss being together, but
Yeah.
things like this that
We
make it
miss
a
you
little
too.
bit easier. Okay, so if you are all at the same place that I am, your second batch of cookies just came out of the oven, which again need to sit. And your first batch was pick upable and ready to glaze. So when you feel over the tops of them, if they're still just a little bit warm, that's okay, but as long as you can handle them, then they're ready for dressing. So go ahead and give this another little stir. Make sure it's still a good consistency. See that it can drip. And I'm actually gonna switch to a spoon at this point. A fork is really good for mixing, but a spoon kind of helps to glaze it easier. So let me grab a spoon. Okay. So I like to coat the spoon once and then go back over it with maybe like a half a spoon full and then go for the drizzle.
That's a beautiful drizzle.
Why, thank you. Another half spoon, because that kind of gives it a good texture. Does it need to be thick? It needs to look like this, where it like easily long drips. And then you can either leave it like this, or sometimes I like going back over in the opposite direction just to give it a fun look. So you guys can look and see the difference. Here, let me see. There they are. So this is like the cross hatch, and then these are just the single drizzle. So it's really it's a matter of looks. The tiny bit of glaze will add a little bit of flavor, but it's not gonna be make or break if you put a little bit more or a little bit less. So it's kind of looks wise, what's your favorite? And then I went ahead and turned off the chai while we were in the middle of that whole thing. I'm gonna pour a cup. I hope that your guys' is ready as well. And we can do a little dip and taste. Yeah, let me find a cup. Here's one. Okie doke. I'm gonna pour some chai in. Oh yeah, that looks so good. Let me see. Okay, we've got chai and cookies, friends. I'm so grateful you all joined us. Yeah.
We all did it.
Okay, it's taste time.
Moment of
Are we
truth.
doing this together?
I guess, yeah, we can each do a cookie.
Yeah, let's each do a cookie.
Here.
Let's socially distance have a cookie together.
This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna hand one right in front of the camera for Lakosha to grab.
Take a cookie, Lakosha, take a cookie.
There we go. One for you.
Yeah,
Got it.
cookies,
One
cookies.
for you.
Yeah,
One
everybody's
for
getting a
me.
cookie.
Okay.
Okay, let's try them.
Except I'm gonna do it off camera because I have to take my mask off.
This is my first time ever making these or trying them, so
Okay.
we'll see. I'm just kidding. Mmm. Oh yeah. These turned out good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try the dip and chai.
Yeah, because they're really gooey.
Let's see everybody eating them, huh? There's cookie joy in this room right now.
Is it good in the
Oh
chai?
yeah, it's good in the chai. It's really good in the chai. Thank you, Chico Chai.
Thank
We
you,
love you.
everybody. Any other?
Okay, are there any more questions or things that we want to talk about?
No.
We're doing good. I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. And again, thank you for our amazing video crew. Thank you to the co-op. Thank you to Chico Chai. Thank you to Stonewall Chico.
Thank you to Garden Cuisine.
We're so grateful to have you all come here and join us and to be able to do these experiences from afar. And yeah, we wish we were all together, but this is second best. We're doing great.
We got to do this.
And we're grateful for you. Mwah.
Thank
This
you,
video will be
Sarah.
up
Thank you,
so that you can rewatch, and we'll let you know if you can still go get more
Yeah.
packages.
I'll make a
more
post
kits.
on Monday if I hear from them whether or not they're sold out. So watch for a post from Stonewall in case there's like some extra cookie kits.
Yeah. Cheers to you all. We love you. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.